The silo always wins.
We've only got a few more episodes to go in the Silo in its first season, and the pace is really picking up. So this week it's a tale of two silos, or at least a tale of two time frames, with Julia on the run in the present and a flashback story to fill in the blanks about her mum. So let's unpack it all and see what it means. As always, I'm Al, this is the Geek in Review. I'm going to be talking about Silo Episode 8, Hannah, so if you haven't seen it, this will contain spoilers. Now, we don't really get any answers this week, but I wouldn't say that we get that many questions either. As the story is told from two time frames, I'm going to talk about each one separately as there's no real overlap. But before I get into that, I just want to say thanks for taking the time to choose to watch this video. If you're a repeat viewer and you haven't done it already, hit the subscribe button, and if it's your first time, do it, you might like what you see. So the episode opens with Juliet and her mum trading black market goods in the silo in a field, and this is a great place to get, probably taken from Jules' dad because remember, he's a doctor. But what's in the mysterious box that they have? It turns out that the rabbit is, well, the guinea pig, I suppose. In the way that Hannah, Juliet's mum, talks about the magnifying devices being barbed, even small ones, to help people read. Now, the episode doesn't focus on the flashback as much as I thought it was going to be. We get a bit of back and forth between Juliet's mum and dad when Judicial have found out, or at least suspect, that she's up to something. Juliet's mum thinks her dad has turned her in, but obviously it's all down to the CCTV/monitoring. So she realises she's got no alternative but to hand over the device. And I thought the bit where she's doing this was very interesting because she's hidden it away in different pieces. And they seemed impressed at the design and what she was doing. But think about it, they don't know what a magnifying glass or a microscope looks like, so they didn't really know what they were looking for. But the magnifying device gets destroyed and they want the rabbit as well. So I wonder why rabbits... Yeah, how did they then get in there in the first place? Because it's a closed environment, so that could lead her dad over her mother's grave, and no one else is there, and this seems to be a funeral, or at least very close to or immediately after it. And they don't really say how she died, it just seems that it was by her own hand. So yeah, the flashbacks this episode were a little bit more briefer, as I was saying, to get filled in here, or at least could be. But anyway, in the present, after last week's cliffhanger, Juliet is on the run. Gloria's still drugged up and gets a visit from Sims wanting to know what's going on. He notices that the vent is open, so he's going to want to know why. But it turns out Gloria remembers him as he and his wife had a baby thanks to the lottery, and he offers her a deal for essentially as much freedom as she can get. So although he knows what he's looking for, he doesn't have it. And while Jules is trying to access the hard drive that's encrypted, Billings contacts her to let her know that Judicial are turning her office over looking for relics. And he wants to know why they're there, or why at least Judicial think relics are there. And yeah, Billings is kind of getting keyed up to be a bit of a larger player in this episode. Because he does bring a bit of an explanation dump, or at least a bit of a history on the Pact. Because remember, he used to win this Pact competition as a child. And he says that the sort of unsanctioned search is breaking the Pact.
You realize this is a blatant violation of the Pact, right?
So we're getting a bit more of an idea on how these different departments work, but we've not got any history or any real solid information on the Pact yet. Now, although the raid has been carried out on Judge Meadows' name, Jules realises that it's Sims behind it and that he's the real power in the silo. And as the search is illegal, she decides to arrest Sims to sort of take him off the board or out the equation. So yeah, Sims gets arrested for breaking the Pact, but he's still after the hard drive, so it seems that Gloria did tell him, and Billings is finally picked aside by arresting Sims. So with Sims out the way, Jules decides to go through the judicial files and finds her mum's own file. And yeah, there's got to be a lot of information in there because she goes straight to her dad and tells her all about how Judicial found out about the device, the cameras, the monitor and all that stuff. And just as she's doing this, a maintenance engineer shows up at her dad's surgery to, do some work, i.e. install a camera as the surgery is a dead zone, and she manages to work this out. We don't see a camera get put in, so I imagine this might come back in the next few episodes. While all this is going on, Billings is back home with his wife, and she tells him that there's a rumour that Jules might be starting a new rebellion and people are beginning to notice her odd behaviour. Now, I do wonder if that is just a general rumour or that might be something that Judicial or Sims or something is planted in order to turn the people against her, because we still don't really know what happened in the last rebellion, and I hope that gets brought up before the end of the season. But so, with very few places left to turn, Jules turns to Lucas because remember, James and Bernard stick to the story that she asked to go outside, so it looks as if she's on her way to clean. Now, literally the last 5 seconds of this episode get crazy. She manages to escape, and the episode ends with her jumping off what seems to be one of the main staircases. So, we know she's not going to die, but where is she going to land, I guess, is the question. And more importantly, what is she going to do when she gets there? I think she's got no choice but to go down to the lower levels and see Martha and all her friends there. I suspect there might be an element of them hiding her or protecting her, but I think I've got an idea on maybe not where the next episode's going to go, but maybe the finale. But as featured in my next theory video, and if you've made it this far, please leave a like on the video, and as I said, if you haven't done it already, please subscribe to the channel. As always, my name's Al, thanks for watching, and don't even pretend that you want to go outside.